we're going to interrupt our normally scheduled programming where we normally talk about Beatitudes to talk more about Christmas with you. So, when we look at the Advent wreath, remember we've already lit 4 candles. The first one was hope. The second one was love. The third candle was pink, and it represents joy. And then the fourth candle represents peace. And then we have a special candle in the middle of the Advent wreath. That one is the one we call the Christ candle, and we light it on Christmas Eve to represent the birth of Jesus. We keep it lit during January and February and March, all the way up to Easter. And then at Easter time, by that time the candle gets really, really, really low because we've burned it for a long time. At Easter time, when Jesus dies on the cross, we blow the candle out and we keep it dark until he rises from the dead again, and then we go ahead and light it again. So this is a really cool symbol to help us remember parts of the Christmas story. I bet you guys have heard the Christmas story, the birth of Jesus story, a whole bunch before, haven't you? I know I have. It doesn't matter how many times we hear this story, though. It's still a miracle, and it's still an important story for us to share. Let's go ahead and listen to the Christmas story again.
He's here. Everything was ready. The moment God had been waiting for was here at last. God was coming to help his people just as he promised in the beginning. But how would he come? What would he be like? What would he do? Mountains would have bowed down, seas would have roared, trees would have clapped their hands. But the earth held its breath. As silent as snow falling, he came in. And when no one was looking, in the darkness, he came. There was a young girl who was engaged to a man named Joseph. Joseph was the great-great-great-great-grandson of King David. One morning, this girl was minding her own business when suddenly a great warrior of light appeared, right there in her bedroom. He was Gabriel, and he was an angel, a special messenger from heaven. When she saw the tall, shining man standing there, Mary was frightened. "You don't need to be scared," Gabriel said. "God is very happy with you." Mary looked around to see if perhaps he was talking to someone else. "Mary," Gabriel said, and he laughed with such gladness that Mary's eyes filled with sudden tears. "Mary, you're going to have a baby, a little boy. You will call him Jesus. He is God's own son. He's the one. He's the rescuer. The God who flung planets into space and kept them whirling around and around. The God who made the universe with just a word. The one who could do anything at all was making himself small and coming down as a baby." Wait. God was sending a baby to rescue the world? "But it's too wonderful," Mary said, and felt her heart beating hard. "How can it be true?" "Is anything too wonderful for God?" Gabriel asked. So Mary trusted God more than what her eyes could see, and she believed. "I'm God's servant," she said. "Whatever God says, I will do." Sure enough, it was just as the angel had said. 9 months later, Mary was almost ready to have her baby. Now, Mary and Joseph had to take a trip to Bethlehem, the town King David was from. But when they reached the little town, they found every room was full. Every bed was taken. "Go away," the innkeepers told them. "There isn't any place for you." Where would they stay? Soon Mary's baby would come. They couldn't find anywhere except an old, tumble-down stable. So they stayed where the cows and the donkeys and the horses stayed. And there, in the stable, amongst the chickens and the donkeys and the cows, in the quiet of the night, God gave the world his wonderful gift. The baby that would change the world was born. His baby son. Mary and Joseph wrapped him up to keep him warm. They made a soft bed of straw and used the animal's feeding trough as his cradle. And they gazed in wonder at God's great gift, wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger. Mary and Joseph named him Jesus, Emmanuel, which means God has come to live with us, because of course he had.
You know, I love that story so much. But I wonder what it would be like from someone else's perspective.
Yeah, like maybe the animals at the manger. I wonder what they thought when baby Jesus was born. Let's take a minute and see if we can find out.
Room for a Little One, A Christmas Tale, written by Martin Waddell and Jason Cockcroft. It was a cold winter's night. Kind Ox lay in his stable, close to the side of the inn. Old Dog came by. He stopped and looked into the stable. "I need somewhere to rest," said Old Dog. "Come inside," Kind Ox said. "There's always room for a little one here." Old Dog came in and lay down in the straw. He nestled close to Kind Ox, sharing the warmth of his stable. Stray Cat peered in. She saw Old Dog and she stopped. Stray Cat arched her back and her fur bristled. "I'll not chase you," said Old Dog. "Come inside," Kind Ox said. "There's always room for a little one here." Stray Cat came into the stable. She curled up in the straw, close to the friends she had found, purring and twitching her tail. Small Mouse stopped at the door of the stable. She saw Stray Cat and she quivered with fear. "You're safe here, I won't harm you," said Stray Cat. "Come inside," Kind Ox said. "There's always room for a little one here." Small Mouse scurried in. She nestled down warm in the straw, in the peace of the stable. Then Tired Donkey came. Joseph led him along. Mary rode on Tired Donkey's back. Joseph was cold and Mary was weary, but there was no room at the inn. "Where will my baby be born?" Mary asked. "Come inside," Kind Ox called to Tired Donkey. "There's always room for a little one here." Tired Donkey brought Mary into the stable. Joseph made her a warm bed in the straw to save her from the cold of the night. And so Jesus was born with the animals around him. Kind Ox, Old Dog, Stray Cat, Small Mouse, and Tired Donkey all welcomed him to the warmth of their stable. That cold winter's night, beneath the stars' light, a little one came for the world.
I think my favorite part of that story is the line that they repeat over and over. There's always room for a little one here. And Jesus came to earth as this tiny little one, this helpless baby. And I'm sure that people looked at that and thought, there is no way that this is going to be a king, that this is going to be someone who will change the world forever. But that's how God's kingdom works. At first, it doesn't seem to make sense, but there's always room for people to come and to be a part of this family. And because we share that love of God together, we're able to be a part of amazing things in this world. God uses us to bring about his amazing kingdom, just like he used his own son, Jesus. Thank you guys for joining us today. We hope you've had a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next week. Bye!